Now we're gonna just look at the top headlines in the world of soccer. There has been a few interesting occurrences. There has been some results that's gone around, and we're gonna discuss all of those. First of all, Aston Villa, they secured their Champions League spot after Spurs lost that game. They're officially in the Champions League in the first time in the history of the Champions League. They did play European competition way back, but at that point it was called something else. And yeah, it's remarkable for them. The last time they played in the Champions League, it was called the European Cup in the 82-83 season. And, Unai Emery, what a ridiculously amazing manager. What he did, what he accomplished at Sevilla, what he then went on to do at Villarreal. He wasn't able to replicate that kind of success at Arsenal. He did take them to Europa League final, but there was a lot of questions with that Arsenal team. But what he's done with Villarreal, winning the Europa League, taking them to the semi-finals, what he did with Sevilla with all the Europa Leagues that he's won, and now here at Aston Villa, taking this team into the Champions League in the Premier League. He is really, really a phenomenal head coach who deserves an opportunity at another elite club. That's the caliber of manager he is. The transformation that he's done since he replaced Steven Gerrard, they were in relegation danger when he came in, and he took that team into seventh. And now this season, what he's done and taking this team to the Champions League is really a remarkable achievement, and really deserves to be praised, and really should elevate him in the ranks of elite managers, and should give him the right to have another opportunity at a top elite managerial position, with one of the top clubs in the league. Obviously, we're not talking about next year, because I fully expect him wanting to return to Aston Villa to play in the Champions League, to continue to build the team that he's created. But for me, remarkable achievement by not just Aston Villa, but by Unai Emery. Ten Hag, Ten Hag has hit back at Wayne Rooney for what happened during one of Wayne Rooney came out in one of his on the network that he works for, discussing the injuries regarding United. Essentially, he was trying to say that some of the players were available, and they're just they're kind of faking the injuries. And he responded by saying they're committed, and he says and he said he wanted to defend his team when he was speaking at a press conference on Tuesday ahead of the game against Newcastle. He insisted that they will always make themselves available for selection, provided they are fit. You have to be here in Carrington. The players are desperate to play. This is quoted by him. He also said Bruno did a fitness test on Sunday to play, and Rashford did everything he could do. Players are desperate to play. Lindelof and Varane are trying to make themselves available for the final. They do what they can do. And he's really defended his team from those comments. And so that was an important thing to talk about. Olivier Giroud, he's going to join LAFC on a free transfer after the Euros. He's had a remarkable career in Europe, at AC Milan, at Chelsea, winning a Champions League with Chelsea, and then at Arsenal, being the elite striker, number 9 that he was, with France, winning a World Cup, and being an important part of that team despite not scoring a goal. As a striker, shows the value that he provided to the team. And he's a very important part. He'll be a very important part of this France team at this Euros too this summer. And yeah, he's going to be joining LAFC on a free transfer after the Euros, which, basically puts a wrap to his international career after the summer, whatever international career that he's had. And what a player that he has been. So hats off to him to making that move to joining Europe. Christian Pulisic, he's been a very, very good this season, and he's been a bright spot for AC Milan, despite AC Milan having a rather difficult season. There's been a lot of rumors regarding Stefan Pioli, who, in my opinion, is a good manager. They did finish second in Serie A, but the season rather has been frustrating. Champions League, frustrating, and Stefano Pioli, him possibly being gone from the club, the Pellegatti saying there's some sort of economic issue of Pioli exit. There's a lot that's been a mess. But the most important thing in this is Christian Pulisic. He's been very, very good this season. He's had a very, very good performances. He's been one of the more important guys on this team. He's really solidified himself, and he is an important player for the U.S. men's national team at this World Cup. If they're trying to, at this World Cup, at the Copa America, if they're trying to make a run, Christian Pulisic has to be one of the best players, not just on his team, but in the tournament. He has to be dominant. He has to carry this team. He has to be the talisman, which he is capable of being. He shows up in the brightest moments. He was amazing in the World Cup. He was phenomenal in the World Cup. And I fully expect him to perform at this Copa America. It was a good move for him. Going to AC Milan, a change of scenery was perfect. And I fully expect Christian Pulisic to take this U.S. men's national team to the next level at Copa America. Whether that will be enough or not, I don't know, because I'm not the biggest fan of Greg Berhalter. I've made that clear for a very, very long time. But I still think he is quality and class. Todd Bowley, he said, he's been an interesting character. He had the quote, and there's been a lot of hit back. Oh, no, actually, no, this is an old article. I apologize for that. Let's move on. Discussing, Erling Haaland too. Erling Haaland scored 2 goals. There's been a lot of talks on Erling Haaland throughout the season. Some people talking negatively about him, saying he doesn't show up in the brightest of games, all this. The top center backs got at the end of him. Roy Keane coming out with his harsh comments, talking about his touchdown. Look, Erling Haaland is one of the best players in the world. He is an amazing, elite striker, a clinical striker, and he's not just some sort of finisher that has no touch, no ability. He is good on the ball. He does have quality. He can run at pace. He's a clinical finisher. He has good control. He can play in tight spaces. Don't underestimate Erling Haaland. He is one of the best players in the world. He will continue to be the best player in the world for a very, very long time. He's going to have a ridiculous amount of goals in his career just because of the dominance that a guy like him provides. It's a shame that he's not playing at the summer, at the Euros. We want to see the best players playing in these kind of international tournaments. And him and Odegaard, they kind of been let down by the supporting cast at Norway. But he is a remarkable player. And I think some of the negative criticism really needs to slow down because he doesn't deserve the criticism that he gets, at all. In my opinion, he doesn't deserve the criticism he gets at all. So, we're gonna conclude the show here. It's been a very good show. We discussed, the City Tottenham game. The Premier League title race coming down to the wire. We're gonna have a fantastic weekend of soccer, and I'm very excited to see it, unfold. Thank you for tuning into the GSMC Soccer Podcast, presented by the GSMC Sports Network. Your support means a lot to us, so please remember to subscribe to the show and leave a positive review. It really does make a difference. We also invite you to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram for more content and updates. Thank you once again, and have a wonderful, wonderful day.